What's up, everybody? It's Nick with Who Dat Travel. Now, on our recent trip to Fiji, we were able to go to a pearl farm, which is actually one of two pearl farms within Fiji, and got to catch up with Claude, the owner, and got to listen to how pearls are made and all the science behind it and how they are different colors and whatnot in Fiji. So we wanted to show you and educate you guys on what really goes into pearl farming. So here you are.
And we have only 2 farms in Fiji, which is a sad story. We should be 40 instead of 2. What makes it difficult here to do farming is access to water. The water are owned by the tribe, and companies are very reluctant to come and invest where they have no security on water tenure. So I did the jump. It worked. So it's just that there's a 5-year of you don't know what's going to happen before you get somewhere. So we don't do anything different in Tahiti. At the same time, we do a few things different in Tahiti. In Tahiti, I'll refer to them a lot because they really started commercializing those pearls in the 60s. They have 300 farms over there. They produce 18 tons of pearls a year there. And they're really the standard for volume and commercial success. Here it's a different story. We do colors instead because we cannot do volume. Traditionally, the oysters from the oyster is, yeah, it's green to gray. The typical color of those pearl oysters are green to gray. Here in Fiji, it's a bit different for us. We get these colors instead. We get red or gold or green. And the reason for that is that that animal is a filter feeder. It filters a lot of water. You can stop me anytime if you don't understand or you want me to repeat.
Yeah, what does filter feeder mean?
They don't use fork and knives to eat. No, they don't kill animals. They just filter water. So the underwater, they're hard to find. They look like the reef. But this one is still alive. And underwater, they're always open about 8 hours a day like this. And they just push water through this way, out this way. And they'll go through about 250 gallons of water per day. They'll extract 1 ounce of plankton. They're not specific on food what they eat, but they really like the specific size. And they'll extract oxygen and minerals to build their shell, which is their skeleton, the exoskeleton. Now this one I'm going to kill because it didn't produce an oyster, a pearl in the last harvest. We harvest twice a year here in April and October. And in April, when we looked inside, it was nothing. So we keep them for demonstration with tourists here. But we kill most of the ones we don't produce because we don't want their genes to spawn. So over time, our farm became very productive because we got rid of these guys. So I'm going to kill this one. You want to kill it? You want to do it?
You want to do it?
Yeah, I
You want to do it? Yeah, just go there like this. Push hard. Down, yeah, like this. There you go.
Wow.
Good kid. You did good. There you go. Just open another one.
Oh. You can have this smell good when you come on. It's incredible.
Okay, so I'll do this backwards a bit, but it's because it's easier for me. So now I know why this oyster didn't produce a pearl. It had a fungal infection here. So I turned 55, so I need this now.
I hear you, man.
Okay.
Do the diatoms affect it too?
Yep. Yeah. Diatoms. The problem with diatom is talking about the chips, potato chips, and they don't get. There's a lot of them here, but they spend more energy digesting in than what they get out of it.
Okay. So it just malnourished pearl takes longer? Or?
Yes, it just slowly gets weak and shrivels. So that's why we'll get to that. We're farming much deeper here now. Yeah, so we got, it's called a black lip oyster because of the lip here, it's flat. And this is the abductor muscle that kept the oyster shut until that one killed it. So when you, yeah, it's fun. Yeah. So when you eat scallops, that's what you eat. But from a different oyster, from the scallop oyster, it has that shape. So the muscles in the middle and it's round. So the muscles on the side, it's asymmetrical, but it's the same nice, tasty little thing. So we extract about 40 kilograms a year of this here. These are the gills. So they stand up when the oyster open and they move like this and they create a current of water. So, and the other bit that is important for us today is this bit here, which is the sex bit. So put your ears like this. So in the LGBTQ world, these guys are PH or protandric hermaphrodites. So that means they have both sex, but not at the same time. So they're born. They have one gonad. We have two. They're born. That thing will produce sperm for a while in the water, and when they get strong and healthy and fit and big, they become female and start shooting eggs instead. If there's too many females around them, some of them will become male again.
You got a seed in there?
Nothing. No, nothing. So yeah, so that's the biology of it. So I mentioned the gonad because we do the pearl inside of the gonad. Normally the gonad is much bigger, and that's about that size. This one is smaller now. And another organ that is very important is the black lip here, both sides. Under it here, there's a gray band of tissue here that secretes the mother of pearl. So mother of pearl is that nice little stuff here, and that's how pearls are formed. We put a seed inside of the oyster like this, and the oyster will put mother of pearl around it and wrap it with mother of pearl. So basically all the pearls, cultural pearls, have a core like that inside.
The shells,
how do they make all those like lines? Because I only seen pearls that are like.
That's a good question.
Shells?
These are mother of pearl beads actually. We don't use Mississippi clam beads.
Excuse me, I have a question.
We'll start with that one. So you see, we get the beads out of the thick part of the shell. I sell them to a company in Malaysia, and they'll make the beads out of the part of the shell. Okay, and the lines here, they come because the shell they produce a lot of lines like this. Okay, that's a stupid question. You see, smart girl.
Are you still selling to Gibson?
Not anymore. They
Not
went
anymore.
bankrupt.
Oh,
So they went bankrupt. They got bought by a Chinese pension fund in 2012 or 13, and they stopped buying here. So I don't know where they get their mother of pearl. So mother of pearl, basically, if you grind this and polish the back of this, you get this.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes?
Does this one grow from a seed or
No, that's the
grass?
seed. It's the seed that we get from this one here, from the thick part here. So I send the shell back to a company, and they make the balls out of that.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
They make a ball out of it.
This right here is this?
They polish it.
And this I put inside of this, and this one coats it with this, and then we get this.
When you say
So you see the eyes?
yeah.
Future customer.
Pretty much, yes.
So mother of pearl you've seen everywhere. Like, he was asking about Gibson guitar because for a few years Gibson were buying the shells here because we have a lot of colors in our shells. So they put that in inlays and furniture in the fretboard.
I got it, yeah.
Buttons. So we sell to company in Malaysia. They do buttons only, just for sure. Sorry. Yeah. So, like I said, a pearl is an immune reaction to an intruder. We have a good example here. That oyster had to deal with a worm at one point that came in and just coated it with mother of pearl to neutralize it.
Wow, that's super
I didn't see it.
They were like,
immune response
see
that the mother
it,
of
Dad.
pearl is coating is its immune defense, and you putting the core in
You know, like
is
a
its
cake,
immune
like
defense
if you
is
have
coating
water
that becomes
dripping
pearl.
The pearl is just a seed kind of like coated with mother of pearl.
It's just a shell.
Wow.
Interesting.
Like
So this would just be coating the seed.
Yeah.
And if you were to peel back the mother of pearl here,
You see, if you putrefied, smelly worm inside.
That's cool.
And you got a grain of sand here.
Oh, yeah.
You got a grain of sand here.
What is mother of
What is it? Yeah, well, it's a compound, organic and mineral at the same time. So we've got a base of, like our bones, calcium carbonate.
Yeah.
Mixed with plates of minerals. It's called they call it conchyline and aragonite. So aragonite will be the whitish part here, and conchyline will be the colorish part. But it's basically plates of mineral bounded by a ball.
So it sort of almost does like to compare it.
That was the worm. We're also wondering
Interesting. And does it grow in layers?
Very thin layers.
Very thin layers. Regardless of their immune response, or is it the immune response generates more layers or faster?
So every layer is 0.2 micron thickness. So, and they're translucent. So you can see the color under the other one, under the color under the other. So that's why when you move it in the light, it changes color like this, okay? So the farm here is set up in 53 hectares. So we occupy the whole bay there and the lagoon here. And we've got 19 lines in the lagoon who are 1,000 feet long. And we've got some here and some over there. And on the lines we put different stuff. Every line is set up this way. We're farming about 120 feet of water. And the line where we put our oyster is at 60 feet depth. Normally they're used, in French Polynesia they farm at 10 feet. We farm at 60 feet. And it's all because of the environmental here thing is completely different in French Polynesia. The water is much warmer and we have much more rainfall. And we're near a very young island. This island is very young. It's only 40,000 years old on this last eruption of the volcano. And it rains, actually the second wettest place on Earth after Big Island, Hawaii. So we get 40 feet of rainfall per year.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So California gets about that. So
Yeah, that's California.
About that.
Here too.
So it leaches the soil and all those minerals in the bay and here.
The runoff.
Less here, but more there.
Yeah.
And then the oyster catches that, and that's why they
It
call
gets
it.
all the disease, all the fungus.
Yeah, that's why they're rotted there.
Bacteria.
So all that shit is on.
And they shrink, cause them to shrink.
Yeah. So now that's why we dug deep there. Deep there we have no deck occurrence anymore. They're slower to grow, less food.
Do they get visceral threads on it, or you just put it in here and they just, you can pull them out easy? Or they tie up?
Oh, they tie up right away.
They tie up.
I'm not shitting. You want to pull that basket?
Do you do the, have you ever tried successfully the T. Geiges?
Yep.
You make one of those?
Yep. Not Geiges, of course, yeah, this one.
See it in the gonad?
Yep, no. Between the lip and the shell.
Oh, okay.
Just here.
And they don't-
Okay, so these guys we pull from spec collectors. They're just a year and a half old, but we pulled them 2 days ago, and they already have that. Takes them 1 day to
That's
hatch
impressive.
What are we looking at here?
You okay? They took a picture?
So the life cycle on the farm is this one. I put on the lines, I put, like I said, different material. I can put panels like this, but I can put this one also, which is spec collectors. We leave that in the water for a year and a half, and all sorts of shit will grow in it, like coral or sponges. At one point, we'll get baby oysters like that.
So that way it doesn't.
Then we pull them out and put them in those small baskets for a year and a half. So after 3 years, I get an oyster of about a bit bigger than this. Yeah, like this.
When you see them.
After 3 years.
How does size impact the size of the oyster impact the pearl?
The bigger the oyster, the smaller the pearl.
Inverse.
It's like a pineapple. My neighbor does all the pineapple. The smaller the plant, bigger the fruit. Where the energy goes in the animal. So himself.
So is that there's a I would imagine a window that's the most productive for
Yeah.
you.
My window is April and October. When the swing of the temperature change, the gonad empties himself in the water, so all the eggs and sperm are gone. The oyster will form a small plankton, and the plankton will swim into this, and then we'll grow it, and then we'll get oyster. Now, when I find 2 Japanese technicians to do the seeding. I don't do it myself. I did it during COVID, but I don't want to do that again. The 2 Japanese technicians will be here for about 6 weeks. They'll implant 7,000 to 8,000 oysters. They will harvest what they did 18 months prior. And the process is very simple. Our first step is to find an oyster that has very nice color like this or this. Because this or this for me is big money, because that means I'll get a pearl of gold like this or red like this, and for me it's much more money. So we're really pushing those colors.
Yeah.
You can find them only here. So if I find one that is those colors, I kill it. Because there's this organ that fabricates mother of pearl around the lip that was here. It's very nice. And we know that the lip that produced that mother of pearl of that color, we're going to use it. So I would harvest it, remove it. So like I said, there's a gray band of tissue right here that secretes mother of pearl. And that gray band of tissue that was here secretes mother of pearl of that color. So we make small pieces like this. Okay? And all the other oysters that have been opened but not killed, we go through that opening here, we make an incision in the gonad and put that inside. And we put the small seed like this, 7 millimeter seed. I don't know in inches what it is. It's something.
It changes their color secretion.
It'll secrete that color. But not that color, because this is 10,000 colors in it. I don't know what layer is going to pick up.
Yeah.
But we're pushing.
Yeah, you're steering it there.
How does that work? So you insert.
I insert this bead in the gonad, because if I put the bead right just in there, when the
Yeah.
oyster opens to breathe, the thing goes.
Yeah.
So I put it inside of the testicle so it cannot go nowhere.
And how about that little piece? What else?
We're going to put it inside with this thing. Okay?
With that.
Okay. So what happened is this one, the oyster doesn't like this, the foreign body.
Yeah.
So that piece of tissue will grow around it and form a sac.
Uh-huh.
And inside the sac, it'll start producing mother of pearl of that color on the bead to neutralize it so it's not threatening.
Very interesting.
18 months later, I find technician again here. We're going to open the oyster without killing it, and we're going to look at it. Sorry, I got something like that. Okay.
Why does that one not spit them out when you put them in the mental? Because it's heavy.
200 spit, 1 worm. So I did, after my trials, I stopped.
That would be really cool. And it's
They're big, they're nice, but they're very porous. They're not.
Yeah. Not for jewelry.
It's more because it's rare. People would buy them.
But not practical.
No. And it's a nightmare to wrench these guys. So yeah, after 18 months, I look inside. If I see a pearl, we're gonna harvest it. But if I don't see a pearl, I throw the oyster back in the water for you when you come so I can kill it. So if the pearl is there, we're gonna make an incision to go now. We're gonna pull out the pearl. The pearl will have grown from
This one?
to that size. So from 7 millimeter, it'll grow to 10 millimeter. So we'll have about 1.5 millimeter coating on each side. Okay. If the pearl is nice, I'm going to reuse the oyster to make another pearl. I don't need to inject that piece of tissue inside. It's already there. I just need to put a new bead. But this time I'll put a bead of 10 millimeter. So the following year I can harvest a pearl of 13. And I put this in, then I can harvest this.
How much can you scale that? 4 times?
Wait, when do you get that? When do you get that?
Sorry?
When do you get the ones
That big takes me 4 times a year and a half, 6 years plus 3, 9 years.
9 years.
How old are you?
7.
7. I've got oysters in the lagoon that are 12 years old.
Older than you are.
2 years older than me, just 2.
Is it 400-500 Fiji dollars? So you're talking 1,000.
Sorry.
How much when you told her 4 or 5? Did you mean?
Oh, 4 or 5 times.
So you're asking how many times they
Scale it to
yeah,
get it bigger.
go to like gauges, like
But if I see 1,000, 30% reject the bead. Not the bead, but the piece of tissue I injected. Because I cannot go in the lagoon and dive and start shooting and anti-rejection medicine and the oyster. So we just accept the loss that they're going to reject them. So that's 30%. Out of the 70% left, I have 3 groups of pearls coming out. High-end, sellable, commercial, and then rejects. The rejects we don't receive. We reject the 400 in the middle, which is the middle and the high-end ones. So I'll go 1,400, and then the following year I'll receive maybe 150, then I'll receive 50, then I'll receive 10. So the big ones are rare and very expensive, and the demand is on the big stuff.
I see.
Blame it on Nancy Pelosi. Why?
When the Japanese technicians come in, are they doing the work underwater, or they
They
pull?
won't hear something.
They can pull the
No,
oysters out.
no, we pull the oysters for them. We
Okay.
clean them. We open. We put a wedge and we give them to them.
How long do they stay out of the water?
24 hours. If they're open, 1 hour because they start drying. But as long as they're shut, no problem. And not in the sun, 24 hours, no problem. Because we're moving them from another island to here. We grow them on another island, and then we bring them here. And the transport is almost 16 hours, and we never had a loss, or very few. Minimum. Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, let's just say you had a pearl inside. Can you take it out, or do you have to kill it to get the pearl?
I don't need to kill it.
So
You
you
don't?
keep it. Oh, I
Okay.
thought you killed it.
And then I make another pearl.
Oh.
And I make another
Wants to
one.
keep it, yeah. He wants to.
And when they get old, and if they make at least one pearl, I keep them alive until they die. We just put them back on the reef for them to spawn their good genes. If they didn't produce a pearl, we eat it
We eat it.
Yeah.
because it's good.
And for ones that get like the big pearls, are those the ones that started the big pearls? Like, let's just say you got a big pearl one. Will the next time will it get a big pearl or
Bigger.
smaller? Bigger?
Big.
Wow.
Every time they go bigger.
Even as they grow bigger, you mentioned they get smaller, but it just, if you pick a winner, you got a winner. All right.
Yeah, it's 40% of our oysters.
Dying to ask you quite another question.
How high do they grow? Do they grow
How
about
big do they
this
grow?
high, or just?
The biggest I got on my farm was 18 millimeter, was this 1 inch.
Wow.
Big.
Wow.
1 inch is 21 milligram cheap.
How high do they grow?
18 millimeters, 1 inch.
About that big.
About that big.
Have you seen a
And
marble?
it's sold at auction in Austria for
Big.
40,000 euros. Wow. It's sold in Austria at auction for 40,000 euros.
Wow.
That's cool. You know those ones, there's a place near us called SeaWorld,
Yeah.
but they do it in China.
You like don't
No. It's a fake seed they put in there. It's not in the gonad. It's just they put it in. They buy it
You
from
can
China.
actually, these companies call me here and say, do you want us to send you pre-seeded for your stores?
It's not even real. It's just they buy or they get a bunch of
So like
mussels and put it in.
One of my friends has a pro farm in French
No,
Polynesia,
mine was like
and he got a
this
contract with
big.
Disney, with Walt Disney,
Okay,
to do mapping, which is putting half glass bead inside the shell to make half mappes, apples for
to make those little necklaces.
Oh wow.
but with the shape of Mickey Mouse.
Of course. I should have seen that one coming.
It was a complete commercial flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
And the guy lost his farm, he lost all his business because everybody was calling him the Mickey Mouse Pearl guy.
Yeah, Mickey. Yeah, probably not good branding. You have better PR.
I want one.
Yeah, you mean Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse pearls.
So, but basically, some people put heart
Oh,
shapes
like-
here, and stuff like that.
You mainly see those coming out of China.
Yeah.
I don't know where they do it.
At the airport here, you'll be able to buy pearls here.
Yeah.
They're freshwater pearl from China,
Yeah.
and they dye them in the color we produce here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they say they come from the farm. I stopped by these guys.
Their shells, they cover it in less than a year in the rivers, and then they.
No, actually, it's a clam. Yeah, it's the same clam you have in the Mississippi River, the Mississippi clam. You find it in Yangtze, also in India, all over the world in the North Hemisphere. So the clam, what they do, you've got a big muscle here, which is the big scallop, and then you've got a big lip around. So it's a freshwater clam, a white clam.
Is it mussel?
No, it's a real clam, like the clams you eat in Boston. So they just open them, and what they take a knife, and you just nick with a knife. You just nick the lip like this, and they'll make 20 on one side and 20 on the other side. And what happens inside of the clam is that the scar tissue will grow, and inside the scar tissue a bead will start forming. That's a freshwater pearl from China. They don't last long because they're
lopsided.
Yeah, and their calcium carbonate is just bomb. So basically, with a bit of acid, they just slowly.
And they dye it black.
You dye them the color of where the market there is. So here the color I have here. We send people to look at the colors we have, and they really try to imitate that. Stuff. The Chinese are good. You have to give it to them. They're really good. They're really, they're really good at faking. You got to give it to them. So, any other questions? You were really good.
You had some good
You're
questions.
good. Yeah, smart kids. Good.
Can you talk about the trial you did with this guy?
Oh, yeah, I did that. Well, I just took a bead like this, and I just slipped it. The gonad, I cannot go in the gonad here. The gonad is so far inside the tissue.
You kill it.
Yeah. So what I did, I just lifted the lid, that thing here, and I just slid this under it. A lot of them got embedded in the shell itself, like
Oh wow.
like that.
Yeah, the guy you showed before.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Sometimes the lip will grab it inside and start, and it happened only once in 200. And the product that came is it's like it's not shiny like this. It's really
white.
dull like this.
Rough.
Rough, yeah. So
You know it's real.
kind of. No, it's still a seed inside like I covered. Yeah, yes. It's not the real deal. Still, so it was not worth it. So anyway.
Can you describe the difference between a high quality pearl? When you're telling there's like 3 kinds of pearls that come out. What's a commercial versus high quality pearl? What makes that difference?
They're all graded. I'll just-
Color, shape.
Yeah.
My dad said no.
Okay, this is a good example here.
Ooh.
So we got it's written in the back. So the most important thing is the shape. It used to be important. It's not true. It used to be round, but there's 4 different shapes. There's baroque shape, which is any kind of shape, non-symmetrical. It can be symmetrical but not round, like teardrop shape, like this. It's called semi-baroque, or with circles around them, because. So circle happens when the bead is inside the gonad. Some oysters are very strong and they squeeze the bead very hard and it can spin only in one direction. They spin slowly inside all the time. So when this happens, you start to have concentric circles appearing on the pearl of different colors. They're called circle pearls. Traditionally, these pearls had no value. For now, they're the one who are the most valuable on the farm here. I don't know why. People love them. So I've stopped trying to understand how it works.
Sure.
Are they the flat ones or the layers?
The layers. Yeah,
They're kind of flat,
Yeah.
these layers?
Yeah. So then, the Asians, they really like the round, perfect one. Okay? And then you've got teardrop shape, which is when the oyster spins it only in one direction, still symmetrical, but no circles. When they spin the ball in every direction, you'll get a round pearl. And when it doesn't move at all, then you get a pearl that grows very weirdly. Then you got surface quality. How many bumps and bruises on it? They all have bumps and bruises. All of them without exceptions. Can we see them? Cannot we see them? How many of them? Are they grouped? Can we hide them with the setting? Another important factor is luster. So how the light bounces. Can you brush your teeth in it because it's so shiny?
Wow.
So that's luster. Like this one is very lustrous compared to this one. So we have a tool for that, how the light bounce back. I don't do the grading. My wife got the training for that in Japan. I don't do it. I understand how it works, but it's too. You go nuts after 4 hours doing this. And then we get a chart every year, so of a pearl that is at auction 10 millimeter round A grade. We get a price for that one every year. That changes.
Interesting. It's a benchmark.
Yeah, it's a benchmark, and from there plus minus percentage on size, growth, and that changes daily.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's been very good the last 4. Thanks for COVID. Because COVID killed half of the pearl farmers, so there was a squeeze on the supply.
So that's probably good for your.
Yeah, it's been good for us. It's
Yeah.
been really good for us. So I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, they could have many here, but then the price.
No, Fiji still imports $50 million worth of pearl a year to sell to tourism.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I saw that in the airport. I was like, oh, freshwater pearl. That's interesting.
yeah. So they import pearls from Australia, from Indonesia, from Tahiti. We're only 2 farmers here, so we can fill the market, maybe 1 or 2% of the market.
Yeah.
So it's a loss for the country not to have farmers.
Why are they more expensive here than California?
It's color.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But the same ones.
you won't find them in California, no way.
No
The only
shit from Tahiti or.
Oh, from Tahiti, but
Yeah.
Fiji pearls, you'll find them here in Fiji. There's one store in Hawaii,
Oh, okay.
and Justin has one store in New York. That's it.
Oh, no one. Okay.
So were you able to, when the queen, I I know.
Justin sold us
It
the
was
strand.
Justin's?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was
But actually,
wondering.
it was a gift from the government. So the government bought the strand from Justin.
Bought it from him?
And
Okay.
gave it to the.
I was wondering if you got to be in on that at
No,
all.
no, no, no,
No,
no.
rats.
And when I saw the price they were offering, I said, no way. You can, yeah, no way, no. But we were really proud of them and what they did.
Oh,
It was really
absolutely.
good. It was a nice strand, actually. But,
Yeah, I remember seeing it. And
yeah.
It was,
And actually created quite a bit of a stir because it was one of the first piece of jewelry that Meghan Markle got.
oh.
Because they were getting married. They just got married with,
Okay.
and it was before with all the drama that they left.
Yeah, we were here about the
And
same week she was here. I remember seeing the sign.
yeah, and she thought it was a gift for her, but it's a gift for the crown, you know.
Yeah.
So it stays somewhere in the museum somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
So it created kind of a stir because she wanted the strand and she couldn't have it or something like that.
Did you buy that one here from him?
Yeah.
when
That
you were
was
here
10 years
before?
ago.
Yeah.
Showing you still had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
I have several.
Oh, yeah. And we'll probably buy
Wear 'em all
several
the
more right
time,
about
yeah.
I think you came 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is our 5th trip to Fiji.
Well, we see.
I was saying,
From
we
my
haven't seen
position,
this.
from where I'm sitting, almost every week we see the same people come back. That group of island here, Taveuni, Lodala, Gami, and Matangi. There's families who rent rooms in Matangi every year for family grouping. Or you see that constantly. It's more small family businesses here, so I think people get a connection. There's still no McDonald's and Burger King.
Hopefully that won't ever happen, but it probably will. It happens everywhere.
I've been here 18 years, same number of beds, no growth, nothing in the market here, so we just leave it like that. It's fine.
I still use one of your lines whenever any people ask why we come back to Fiji. And because you had said I could have went to Tahiti, I could have done this anywhere. But you came back for the people.
Yeah, people are.
And it is true, yeah. We've made connections that, very well.
Yeah, for us, we did 37 countries when we traveled around the world before choosing this. And coconuts and beaches and lagoons are all the same all over the world. Just when we arrive here, people are just nice. No guns. The police have no guns.
Well, you had said there's petty crime. Your sandals go missing.
Yeah,
Your,
what sandals?
your sunglasses go missing.
Oh, they're nice.
But,
Can I have them? Yeah.
we also remember the story of somebody getting drunk and trying to get your pearls.
Yeah.
What size boat you come over in?
41 foot. So yeah, and we one day, the first year we were here, some villagers tried to steal some pearls off us, and we caught them. And since we pay royalties to the families here, it was counterproductive for them to steal from us. So try to explain to them, so that's okay. I said I still have to go to police because I don't want this to happen again. I just sent a message clear in the community. So I called the police, and the police came in the village, and they go, okay, who did it? And everybody pointed at that.
There's no getting away with it.
So I said, come with us. So we're in the car. And they get in the car, okay, you go in front of the judge. Did you do that way? Okay. It's okay, you gotta go to jail now 2 years. But if you go to jail 6 months, you're out, okay? So it's just like that. And you go to the jail here, there's no doors, there's no windows, there's no fencing. Everybody's sleeping inside because they're in jail, and they go work in the field, and nobody gets out of it. It's so funny. Yeah. No fence.
Yeah.
There's one security guard listening to movies on his phone, and that's it.
Very trustworthy in that way.
Must not be that bad.
Yeah, that's it. But every year we hear of there's a bigger prison on the main island. One guy managed to get out, you know. And within a week they catch him because everybody knows everybody about it. Oh, we've seen him in that village. So there's no.
Just do the time.
Yeah. It's a nice place here. So some people want to do some snorkeling?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.